to CAT preparation journey, day 12. So we have been doing continuously quants for last 11 days. So for day 12, let's look at the para jumbles and dive a little bit into verbal. And verbal also, we are doing, VARC is your full verbal, which in which RC represents your reading comprehension, and this represents verbal ability in your English section. So today we'll be starting off with the verbal ability, and in verbal ability we'll be doing para jumbles. Okay, so para jumbles is our main topic. It is also known as sentence rearrangement. Okay, now what is para jumble basically? So para jumble is basically paragraph that is jumbled. Okay, you will be given like few sentences, like 1 2 3 4. You have to arrange them in a such a way, like it could be 4 3 2 1 or 4 1 2 3, in whatever way you have to arrange, so that it yields a good meaning. The paragraph has some meaning and it is not absurd. Few sentences are given and you have to rearrange them in a paragraph so that the paragraph makes sense and is not absurd. This is the main key word. Okay, paragraph makes sense. That is the main thing which we are looking for. Now, in this video we'll be looking at few tips and tricks, how to solve it, and why am I focusing on para jumbles first and not the other topics of verbal ability is because almost 3 to 4 questions come in CAT from this topic, and in that also Theta is one form of question and MCQ is one form of question. So theta is basically type in the answer which has no negative marking, whereas MCQ is like you have to select one option, but if your option is wrong you'll have like -1 will be your marks. So let's dive deep into it, how to solve para jumbles. Okay, so to solve para jumbles basically there are few steps. Okay, in that, step 1 is identify the purpose of the passage. Okay, now what is the purpose of the passage? We have to identify how the passage is supposed to flow. It can flow from main idea is represented first and then the explanation of that idea, or it can be like first a few sentences are given and then you explain that sentences in detail, or sometimes it is said that let's say in this world the crime rates are increasing, and then it is a very general statement, right? And then you dive into a specific statement like, okay, crime rates are increasing but the cases related to murder are increasing at a much higher rate. Now the second statement is very specific and it gives more information in relation to the first sentence. All right, let's see few purposes. So first is explanation, main idea first and then followed by a specific sub idea. This is what I just explained you. So in this the author will reveal the main idea in the first or second sentence itself. Okay, and then followed by a specific sub idea, like crime rates are first and then murder rate is a specific sub idea. It is not the main idea but a sub idea, but it may happen that the overall passage only talks about the crime rate. Okay, now the second part is awareness. Highlight the background first before throwing the light on the key issue of the passage. Let's say here, instead of crime rates, murder is a issue. Okay, so when murder is the issue, you will say why crime rates are increasing, how crime rates are increasing, how crime rates can affect the society, and then you will dive into murder. Okay, then you will talk more about murder and all. So first background setting is done by the author or the writer, and then coming on to the key issue or the main issue of the passage. Now next would be anxiety or concern. So here the author will play a sentiment card and then tries to introduce a specific concern in the first line itself. Okay, now let's say for example, world is a lonely place. Okay, or you can say that there are people who are not able to sleep alone, and if you are among them, you are not alone. Okay, something like this. Now this is basically a sentiment card. When the when the author tries to introduce the topic in the first sentence itself, let's say if you are not able to sleep in night, you are not alone. Okay, this is the one thing he tried to introduce it. Okay, but in the second sentence he will name it, and he'll name it as, insomnia is the issue, and then he'll talk more about it. So setting an introduction first, and then coming to the main topic, that is what anxiety and concern is. Now next one is solution oriented, problems followed by the solution. Okay, now let's say there are few passages in which a author first highlights the problem. Okay, highlights the problem and then highlights the solution. Let's say there is one sentence or a paragraph in which it is said that the depression rates in India are increasing. That is a problem. Depression is a problem, and depression is increasing more for the teenagers. Okay, this is a problem. He's deep diving into the problem. Now he gives a solution. It is because of the mobile phones, and staying away from mobile phones is a better solution to it. So now that is a solution added to a problem. Those type of paragraphs are solution oriented paragraphs. The last such topic is surprise or amaze, wonder or amazement. So here the author tells facts or interesting ideas in the opening statement. Let's say we say, interesting idea, the Taj Mahal turns pink during the time of sundowner. Okay, and this is something interesting because we all know that Taj Mahal is pure white, it is made of marble, but it is said that it turns pink. This is an interesting idea. Now why it happens, how it happens, the author will explain in the following statements. Okay, so these are few purposes of the passage and how the passage flows. Basically, if you are not comfortable with purpose of the passage, you need to understand how the passage flows, because these are the five specific patterns in which a passage will flow. That will be a flow of a passage. All right, now let's move on to the step 2. Look for the keywords and indicators. Now keywords and indicators are words in a way, they actually tell us like after which statement what should come and which statement should come in first. So let's say introductory keywords. Okay, introductory keywords, these keywords are used to define the beginning of the discussion or the central idea. Let's say a, and, nowadays, and beginning. So let's say I'm talking about a certain sequence, okay, or if I'm talking about how to start a passage, and I've given I have given you a lot of lines. Okay, you do not know which line to come first, so you look for these keywords. Like in the beginning, Maharaja XYZ killed the other MN person for this reason. So that will give you a beginning. Okay, so these words actually tell you how the paragraphs begin. Then we have concluding keywords. Okay, concluding keywords, basically these indicate a conclusion or summation, basically the last line of the passage. Okay, this could start with thus, therefore, finally, eventually, clearly. Okay, these are like that. Then we have comparative keywords. Now these are used in middle of the paragraphs. Okay, these keywords are used to compare any given facts or ideas of the central part of the passage. Let's say there is a very good comparison between science and God. Okay, we both know this can work together, this contradict each other, but people do compare a lot of a lot of topics about science and God. So in that, these usually come these sentences or these keywords usually come in the middle of the paragraph, not in the first line, not in the last line. Okay, and the sentences start with likewise, similarly. Okay, and then there are contrast keywords. Now these are also used in middle, but the the purpose of this is they do not compare, they basically contradict. Okay, so these keywords are used to contradict any given facts in the passage. But yet, although, on the other hand, nevertheless, so these basically contradict. Let's say I told you that I like to wake up in the morning, okay, but I also like to sleep. Now these two are contradictory statement. Okay, so we used but in the between. Hence, any sentence that is starting with but yet, although, on the other hand, and nevertheless will not come in neither starting nor the ending, but somewhere in the between. Next, we have connector keywords. Now, this connector keywords provide support to the concept being discussed additionally by giving being discussed and additional giving by giving additional information. Let's say I'm talking about I like to wake up in the morning and then I love to take my coffee. Okay, now this and which I used here is nothing but a connector keyword. Likewise, additionally, in addition to this, apart from this, all of these keywords are example and they add more and more support, they provide more and more assistance to the topic which is already being discussed. Next is sequence keywords. Okay, these words indicate factors that tell the sequence or order events in the passage. Firstly, secondly, event time, dates, days, etc. All of these are covered under sequence keywords. Let's say I said that she took out her hand from the pocket and then she grabbed a biscuit and lastly she ate that biscuit with tea. Now, firstly, then, and lastly are nothing but they tell a sequence. Okay, so these words are used repetitively. Sequence keywords are used repetitively, and then it forms a paragraph. Now, next we have is cause and effect keywords. These words help to recognize the middle sentence where the preceding sentence is the cause and the following sentence tells the effect due to it. My sister poked me and hence I slapped her in return. Okay, now here as, since, due to, and because I use the word hence is also nothing but a cause and effect keyword. Alright, now we'll move to the step 3. Step 3 is nothing but forming mandatory pairs. Okay, you might have a list of sentences, but when you read all the sentences, you know for sure that first sentence will come after last sentence only. You may not know in where they'll come together, where they will come, but you definitely know that this sentence will come after the last sentence for sure. So let's say this is sentence A, this is sentence C. So A and E are pair. Given A comes first. Oh, sorry, because I said that A will come after E. So, E comes first and A. So this is the new pair. Or this is the pair. Or whatever you feel like is the pair. Then, and in that way, you make a pair. Alright, step 4. This is very similar to your sequence keyword, which is time sequencing. Okay, so these type of indicators suggest a timeline or a sequence of events occurring in the passage. Let's say there are dates given. Okay, in 1949 Maharaja did this, then in 1950 he killed these many people, and by the end of World War IV, because it has not happened and I'm not very sure of the date when it will happen, just a hypothetical event, hypothetical situation, by the end of World War IV the world will end. Okay, so this time sequencing helps you in understanding the which sentence will come first and which sentence will come later. Now, last but not the least is your step 5, which is take the help of noun and pronoun. Okay, let's say taking the example of World War II only, or World War. World War II happened between 1939 and 1960. Okay, not sure of the dates, but yeah, I'm just considering hypothetical here. It caused a lot of destruction. Okay, so when I say this sentence will always come first because it is referring to what? We don't know. But if it comes second, we definitely know that it is referring to nothing but World War II. I hope the concept is clear. This is pretty much the full concept. Let's now look at few examples. Example 1 is your theta question, which is type in the answer. You're not given the options, you have to type the answer by yourself. Number 1 is people who want to achieve something great, reach a lofty goal, or start something new will often hesitate before taking the leap. It always seems like there is a mountain between us and our dreams. That little bit of hesitation is fine. It's not wise to do anything monumental without pausing to make important considerations. The hesitation becomes a problem when it transformates into fear or anxiety that holds you back from doing something you are perfectly capable of doing. If fear is standing in the way of your success, it's time to evaluate the situation, work towards resolving the fear, and do the thing you have always dreamt of doing. Now, in this whole paragraph, two words are very highlighted. That is, one is hesitation and one is fear. So we definitely know these two are connected, and hence the passage revolves around this. Now here, it always seems like there's a mountain between us and our dreams. Very general statement. So this is most likely to be the statement 1. Okay, so I'm writing here in the correct answer 2 as my number 1. Now, people who want to achieve something might represent dreams here. Okay, so people who want to achieve something great, their dreams, reach a lofty goal, or start something new will often hesitate before taking the leap. Okay, now I don't know if this is second or not, but I feel that this might be second because firstly it talks about dreams, and then it dives deep into dreams or something great that people want to achieve. So I'll keep this now on for a hold. That little bit of hesitation is fine. It's not wise to do anything monumental without pausing to make more important considerations. Now I definitely know that 3 comes after 1. Okay, because here they have talked about hesitate, and here they have talked more about hesitation, but in a very positive way. Now, the hesitation becomes a problem when it transformates into fear or anxiety that holds you back. Now, till here it was a general statement, general hesitation. Now, here is a contradiction, that it is fine till here, but now it is becoming a problem. It is turning into anxiety or fear. So I think this should come after 3. Okay, if fear is standing, now they have introduced fear or anxiety in here. Now they are building on it. If the fear is standing in the way of your success, it's time to evaluate the decision, which is a solution. Here they have highlighted a problem. Now they are telling you the solution. Evaluate the situation, work towards resolving that fear, and do the thing you have always dreamt of doing. So 2, then 1, 3, 4, 5, because we have established the pairs. Okay, I hope this much is clear. Moving on to second example. This example is an MCQ. The book was Jonna Leher's How We Decide, and the epiphany was the consciousness could reside in the brain. He was a 20-year-old philosophy major at Hamilton College. In January 2010, while driving from Chicago to Minneapolis, Sam McCraney played an audiobook and had an epiphany. The quest for an empirical understanding of consciousness has long preoccupied neurobiologists. The standard coursework, ancient, modern, and contemporary philosophy enthralled him. But McNary was no neurobiologist. Now, McNary is highlighted, and in sentence B, he is used. In sentence E, him is used. Now, these two cannot be the first statement because we know that these two are using pronouns, and before pronouns, a noun has to come. Now, McNary is a noun, and McNary is used here as well. Okay, so I think C is the first statement. In 2010, while driving to Chicago, McNary played an audiobook and had an epiphany. Now, But here it is written, but McInerney was no neurobiologist. So obviously this does not follow this. Okay, cool. Now the book was Jonna Leher's How We Decide, and the epiphany was the consciousness could reside in the brain. Now here it is introducing audiobook and epiphany, and it is here in sentence A it is talking more about epiphany. So I think A will be the following statement by C, and C and A are paired. Alright, now McNary is introduced, the book and the brain is introduced. Now we need to work on why this book is introduced. So the quest for empirical understanding of consciousness is introduced here. You are talking more about consciousness here. So has long preoccupied the neurobiologist. So D will come the next. But now McNary was no neurobiologist. Now they are saying that McNary is not a neurobiologist, which is a contradiction. Okay, as it cannot come at the last, it will come in between. So McNary, DF will be your next word. Now we are again given, now McNary is no neurobiologist. So if he's not neurobiologist, what is he? He was a 20-year-old philosophy major at Hamilton College, and then it is written the standard coursework ancient, modern and contemporary philosophy enthralled him. Now that is what excites him, or interests, catches his interest in the philosophy. So our next would be B and E. I hope the process of solving it is clear. And if we see the options, option A is not our option, option B is not our option, option C is not our option, option D will be your correct option. Let's move on to the last question. It was never denied and seemed to be integrated into the city life. The poverty was there right in the open in the old streets, but somehow it did not depress me as much I had feared. Indian society is associated with great poverty, and indeed I saw a lot of poverty in Bombay. Now D is a very good opening statement because he is introducing poverty here, and then he's talking more about it in the every other statement. So I would go for D as a opening statement. Now it was never denied. Now it can be a second statement. The poverty was right there in the opening street, but I think it should follow B because it is said that it is open. Okay, it is all there, and then it is talking more about that openness, that it was never denied and seemed to be integrated in the society. So it is talking more about that statement, it is giving an additional information. So B and A are a definite pair. Now where we should place C, but somehow it did not depress me as much I had fear. So as soon as he got introduced to the poverty, then he talks about how it impacted him, and then he talks more about it. Like that's how usually you form a sentence, form a paragraph, right? So DCBA according to me should be an answer. ADBC is not a right answer. BCAD is not a right answer. BCDA is not a right answer. But DCBA is something that matches our answer, which is the correct option as well. I hope you liked this video. Please make sure to like, share and subscribe, and do hit the bell icon right next to it so that every time I upload a video you get a notification and you can follow me in my CAT preparation journey. Thank you so much for joining in. See you soon tomorrow in day 13.